Welcome to the Omphalos Cafe. Before I get going here, I'd just like to point out and stress that the Omphalos Cafe is a place apart, strange and very different from what you might be accustomed to. If you've already had occasion to watch one of my videos or read one of my blog posts at omphaloscafe.com, you'll know what I mean. If not, well, sit back, breathe deep, sip on some tea, good luck, and enjoy. This is the first episode in which I want to use a particular quote taken from the good book as launching pad for a series of connections, a riff or song on just about anything and everything, on life. For the sake of brevity and ease of viewing, I intend on keeping each video to 5 minutes or less, or try to anyways. And no, when I say the good book, I'm not talking about you know what. Isn't the one you're probably thinking of simply a collection of ancient books specific to a certain relatively defined area and spanning approximately 1,000 years? At a certain point in time, a group of men, just men mind you, got together and deemed that good book complete, finished, and closed to further addition or amendment. It was done. From that moment on, society, peoples, the world at large, and our understanding of it could and would change, but that good book wouldn't. Nope. Here at the Omphalos Cafe, the good book is not that book. The good book is all books. Books worth reading, that is. Inspired, shining, brilliant books. Books written by unique souls I like to refer to as giants of the human spirit. So who might they be? Well, just from the shelves beside me, they might be Joseph Campbell or James Joyce or Will Durant, Oswald Spengler or Henry Miller. They might be Krishnamurti or Alan Watts or Hermann Hesse. They might be D.T. Suzuki, Black Elk, or Ellie Foray. Of course, so many more could have made the list. So many voices singing their song. Just have to leave it at that for the moment. Hopefully you get the idea. But the question is where to start. What quote can I use to get the proverbial ball rolling? And I thought it fitting in a way that I hand the talking stick for this first foray into deep abiding quotes to Henry Miller. Why? Well, in many ways, some 25 or 30 years ago, it was Miller who got the ball rolling for me. And while his widely known two tropics, Cancer and Capricorn, can lead you deep into the madness, his wisdom of the heart and stand still like the hummingbird can, if you let them, point to something new. Take you on through to the other side, so to speak. The other side being here, I suppose, wherever that is. So with that in mind, I'll let his words get this little segment called Quotes from the Good Books going here at the Omphalos Cafe. From his work, The Books in My Life, first published in 1969, he wrote, it's particularly apt for what we have in mind here, he wrote, "What distinguishes the men I have in mind is that they did not impose their authority on man. On the contrary, they sought to destroy authority. Their aim and purpose was to open up life, to make man hungry for life, to exalt life, and to refer all questions back to life." I love that. To open up life, to make man hungry for life, to exalt life, and to refer all questions back to life. Who is doing that these days, I ask? It's very apt for what we do here at the cafe, because it's important to understand I'm sitting here before you and stumbling through these videos not as a would-be teacher, but as a celebrant. I'm not trying to impart anything except maybe an enthusiasm for life and that which encourages and celebrates it. However, back to the quote, the last part of the quote struck me as especially significant, essential for who we are today and what we need to transform ourselves and our unbalanced modern way of life. To refer all questions back to life, Miller writes. It's so simple and yet so profoundly beautiful. It reminds me of my own saying, here and ending a great many of my blog posts, life is all there is. But don't we individually and collectively lose sight of that simple truth every minute of the day, and then wonder why we feel so lost and alone and separated from what really matters? Anyway, rifling through the book, searching for the above quote, I was continually stopped dead in my tracks. Or maybe I should say stopped totally alive. Listen to another. And is it any wonder Miller occupies a place of honor up on the top shelves? He writes, "There have been and always will be books which are truly revolutionary, that is to say, inspired and inspiring. They are few and far between, of course. One is lucky to run across a handful in a lifetime," and he adds, "Moreover, these are not the books which invade the general public." It's good old Henry Miller, the happy rock. Fortunately for us, and this truly is a special time in history, many of the books Miller writes about remain readily available, although a few are becoming harder and harder to find. But the question I ask is, who is reading them? I mean genuinely reading them without any other purpose than a lust for life and deep inner truths. And where, if anywhere, are they discussed? And the answer is nowhere that I know of, besides the Omphalos Cafe, and I've had my eyes open searching for upwards of 30 years now. Oh well, there you go. As I said, the Omphalos Cafe is a place apart, like no other I know. It's a place where those books are celebrated and discussed, where those books and words uttered and written down are still regarded as sacred to life, our life today. And that's why I've decided to call these clips quotes from the good books. The good books being all books of a certain kind, mad, possessed, crazy, poetic, deliriously inspired books. Anyway, that's it for now. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching the Omphalos Cafe. And which books, if any, have touched and moved you? Bye now.